Hello and welcome to Easter Egg Hunting, a show that dissects your favorite games looking for hidden secrets and Easter eggs. We're gonna try our hardest to show you any and all Easter eggs that we can find in any game, and we'll even be throwing in a bit of trivia as well. We've now reached part 5 of the epic journey through the main series Mario titles, and as we left off from the last part, let's keep searching for those World 4 Luigis. Nothing else to say, so let's go. Next up, in level 3, Beep Block Skyway, Luigi doesn't hide himself too much here by being visible scrolling across all the giant electronic screens throughout the level. While in level 4, Big Bounce Byway, Luigi hides a little too much in this one by hiding inside the cloud near the warp box at the ending portion of the level. Just ground pound it and he'll appear for a split second before the cloud reappears. As for a really freaky Luigi, one can be found in the next level, Spike's Lost City. In between the beginning of the stage and the checkpoint flag, where a few Galoombas are, you'll be able to see a Luigi creepily and devilishly hiding away in the vines over here. Lastly, in Lava Rock Lair, you'll be able to see this Luigi at the very top of the first bridge you see to grab a green star. But instead of opening the bridge down, you have to get up to the top of it while it's still up, which is a lot harder than it sounds. For a few more random hidden Luigis, throughout the game so far, you'll encounter many of a series staple of Mario games, the question block. In this game though, there's a small chance that a Luigi sprite will pop out of one when you bash it, but the chance is very small here. Also, whenever you come across a Sprixie house in the overworld to find a stamp, chase the birds away from the window to see another creepily hidden Luigi peering into the house before ducking away. Along with Sprixie houses, we can also find Toad houses in the game, and these are nothing new to the Mario series. The Toad houses in this game, however, have a callback to Super Mario Bros. 3, where they first appeared. The Toad inside will ask the player to pick a box. Its contents will help you on your way. A direct quote from Mario 3. Before we start with World 5, it's also worth mentioning that whenever you enter a level featuring snow or confetti floating in the air, you should see many tiny Luigis amongst the sprites. This can also be seen in a particular room of a stage in World 5, which has this ball guiding minigame, which also, on extremely rare occasions, will feature Luigi appearing on the actual ball itself. This took a lot of retries for me to see though. Onto the other levels though, the first one, known as Sunshine Seaside, shows a Luigi hiding on top of a tree if you use the binoculars. You'll also find one hiding behind a bush if you burn it after the Plessy section in the very same stage. At the very beginning of stage 2, Tricky Trapeze Theatre, an extremely obscured Luigi can be found at the bottom of some cloud pillars to the right hand side after you move the camera around. Pretty tricky to see. But then, skipping a bit to stage 4, Sprawling Savannah, it's possible to find 2 Luigis here. After reaching the large grassy area of this stage after a cannon blast, head for the bottom right of the stage to find a giant Luigi painted within the grass. Then, at the nearest binocular Sprixie, look towards the top clear pipes on the mountain to find the second Luigi. Level 5, Bob-Bombs Below, has a very easy Luigi to find. Just stand still once the level starts and wait for 70 in-game seconds. Then he'll come running across the bottom of the screen. Also in Bob-Bombs Below, there's a secret bonus area where the player will come across a blank platform. Running along it will light up pixels of a sprite, eventually revealing a full 8-bit sprite of Mario. When completed, a remix of the original Super Mario Bros. Overworld theme will play. In World 5, there's also a bonus level called the Golden Express, where the player has to grab as many coins as possible. It's thought that this level is based off of the treasure ship from Super Mario Bros. 3. In World 6, another Hub World Luigi can be found, but this time he's very hard to see. Walk towards the rainbow bridge that divides the clouds and then turn the camera angle around so you can see down the gap, and Luigi can be found submerged in the distance. Then, the next submerged Luigi can be found in the first stage, Clear Pipe Cruise, where if you head to the pipe where you find the hidden stamp by jumping on top of the pipe, you'll see a very faint Luigi merged into the pipe itself. Following that is another submerged Luigi hidden in the second stage, Spooky Seasick Wreck, where one of the ships near the start of the level allows you to faintly see him peeking out under the decks of the ship itself. On level 3, Hands on Hall, look for the first gong in the stage and continuously hit it. After a while, a Luigi will then drop down. Then at the very top of the roof of the same stage, head to the far right of it, tilt the camera around, and then you'll find another Luigi hidden behind a window. This level's Japanese name also translates as Touch, Mysterious Mechanism Castle, and is thought to be a reference to the Famicom game, The Mysterious Murasami Castle. In native Japanese, the level is called Tachi, Nazo no Karukuri-jo, where the Famicom game is Nazo na Murasami-jo. The game was actually developed by Nintendo EAD, and only released about 2 months after the original Legend of Zelda in Japan. Continuing with the theme of submerged Luigis, at the end of stage 4, Deep Jungle Drift, look towards the distance after changing the camera angle to see him ducking in the fog. Then in the next stage, Typhoon Flores, Luigi can be found hiding behind the fence of where you find the binocular Sprixie, much like in the following stage, Bullet Bill Base, where he's hiding on the Sprixie fence yet again. This level was also shown at the demo for E3 2013, where it was level 6-3 instead. Nintendo must have changed the map layout at some point as well, but the level itself isn't much different. The only changes seem to be the coin arrangements and different graphics for the trees. Now we're in World 6-7, Fuzzy Time Mine, or Fuzzy Flood Mine in Europe. In this level you're chased by fuzzies, but not any old fuzzies, a fuzzy horde. The same kind of fuzzy horde that was introduced in the Schwank Fortress area of Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. Finally, by burning a bush at the very end of stage 7, you'll see another Luigi keeping out of sight. Heading off into the castle world, before hitting stage 1, head to the very bottom of the hub world. If you wait a while, you should be able to see a Luigi fading into the right-hand gated lava flow. Once you've found him, then head off into the first level, Fort Fire Brothers, where you have to defeat the Fire Brother at the ending part of the level to make this warp block appear. Once doing this, change the angle around to see Luigi hiding in a window in between the two towers. In a more creatively concealed Luigi, stage 2, Switch Black Ruins, features Luigi hiding on a wall where the stamp is hidden, but it can only be seen by touching the gamepad to light the wall. Then, in one of the hardest ones to see and one of the faintest ones to see, look for Luigi at the end of level 3, Red Hot Run, and you should see him at the very top of the volcano in the background. By account of the short time limit this stage has, and trying to keep still on the top of the clear pipe after the speed boost that you're running through, this was one of the hardest for me to capture. Level 4, Boiling Blue Bully Belt, is luckily much easier, since the spiked rollers in the stage have Luigi's printed all over them. And then a giant wall-painted Luigi is found on the next stage, Trick Trap Tower, right next to where the first green star is located. Then, in stage 6, Rammerhead Reef, Luigi can be seen jumping on a distant rock right near the warp pipe after the checkpoint flag. Just change the camera angle again. Simmering Lava Lake, stage 7, has a Luigi right at the start on the left side of the barrier behind where the starting point of the level is. Lastly, in very similar fashion to World 1's castle, Bowser's Lava Lake Keep has a dark Luigi hiding on the very top of the castle entrance as soon as the cutscene for it starts playing. For another random bit of trivia, one strange reference, or perhaps just an example of laziness, is that Princess Peach's character icon is reused from a background asset in Mario Kart 7's Sherbet Rink battle track. The last two hub world Luigis can be found on the next world, Bowser World. The first is hidden behind the wall near to where the hidden Toad House on the top right of the hub world is, and then the last hub world Luigi is found riding the Ferris wheel on the opposite side on the far left. An interesting detail about World Bowser is that you can perform a glitch on the clear pipe at the start of the world. The player will fall down past World Castle and into World 3, showing how the worlds are physically stacked on top of each other in the same environment for the overworld. Then coming onto the stages, the first one, Spiky Spike Bridge. By adjusting the camera near the first warp box, Luigi is visible on the side of the ledge. Following on to stage 2, Plessy's Dune Downhill, another grass-printed Luigi similar to Sprawling Savannah is hidden on the left-hand side of the grass right after the ride with Plessy. Next up, stage 3, Cookie Cogworks. Grab the binoculars from the Sprixie near the checkpoint flag and look up on the left-hand wall to see Luigi printed again on the side of it. In the next stage, known as the Bowser Express, the very end of the train itself has a small Luigi printed on the side next to the Bowser face end of the train. And in level 4, Footlight Lane, another extremely occasional and rare happening Luigi may or may not appear on the first ever thwomp that you see in the stage. For me, it took about another 11 level retries, much like the Cheep Cheep Luigi much earlier in the game. Luckily, Deepwater Dungeon Stage 5 has a much easier Luigi to find. Make sure that you have the catsuit and work your way up to the top of the little castle wall to the right. Do the same thing across the next right-hand wall along and then head towards the camera, where a crouching Luigi is found behind a stone. Then, in one of the more unsettling Luigi appearances, Stage 6, A Beam in the Dark, has Luigi appearing at the first giant mirror you see. Wait for 100 seconds on the clock to start and then watch as a darkened Luigi fades and slides slowly towards the player in the mirror's reflection. In the same stage, you can also find Luigi at the very end of the level after you touch the flagpole with about 30-ish seconds on the clock remaining. After this, Luigi will appear in the moon in the background. This next Luigi in Stage 7, Grumblump Inferno, proved to be the most random Luigi I tried to find, with more than 20 level retries gone into finding him painted on the top of the second Grumblump you come across. It only happens sometimes, and for me, as I stated, it took many goes to see it. Finally, in the Great Tower of Bowserland, at the start of the stage, just hit the Bowsermobile a few times, and then another Luigi flies out towards the floor. Also worth noting that every time you hit the Bowsermobile in this stage, you'll also hear a Super Mario World sound effect. Now that you've beaten the first 8 worlds of the game, returning to the title screen will show a Luigi sprite in the bottom corner. This sprite leads you to a remixed version of the Mario Bros. Arcade game called Luigi Brothers, which was made in celebration of the Year of Luigi. We're nearly there, guys, because now we're on the Secret Star world. One thing that's obvious about World Star is that it's Super Mario Galaxy inspired and even has star bits in the background. Another possible reference is that after Bowser is defeated, the Sprixies build a rocket that progresses the game and takes you to World Star, similar to how the rockets in Worlds 4 and 7 of Super Mario Bros. 2 help you progress. Jumping into level 1, Rainbow Run, to get the second green star in the level, the player can activate 2 torches using Fire Mario's fireballs. This will open a bonus area where the player has to fill in the pixels of an 8-bit sprite, which turns out to be Link from the original Legend of Zelda. When the sprite is completed, the iconic item received jingle from the Zelda series will play, followed by a remix of the Zelda Overworld theme. Level Star 2, Super Galaxy, is heavily based on the Super Mario Galaxy games. It even has Galaxy's October enemies, and the Comet Observatory can be seen in the background. Just before the flagpole, Galaxy's Rosalina will be standing by. You can even touch her on the Wii U gamepad to bring up a force field around her. After beating the level, you'll unlock Rosalina as a playable character. And on the third stage, Rolling Ride Run, use the Sprixie binoculars to see Luigi hidden under the arch of the left wall on the highest tower of blocks. Then, probably the most difficult Luigi to find by pure skill, Stage 4, the Great Goal Pole, demands that you run as fast as possible to the very end of the stage where the never-ending falling blocks are stationed. After a lot of running, hoping that you have enough time to make it, you'll eventually see another Luigi at the very end of the road, but it's not easy. Playing as Toad is highly recommended to see this. Stage 5, Super Blockland, is a much easier story, as you just need to bomb a giant floor block near the checkpoint next to this small bridge of smaller blocks, and a Luigi will appear where the giant block used to be. Super Blockland is also a more direct nod to Super Mario 3D Land, as it has very simple geometry and a remix of 3D Land's Overworld theme plays in the background. Stage 6, Honeycomb Starway, has a Luigi hidden within the upper right honeycomb platform next to the ending warp box. Honeycomb Starway again has a reference to Galaxy. Its background music is a remixed version of the Gusty Garden Galaxy theme from Mario Galaxy. And for the last of the Star Worlds, Stage 7, Gargantuan Grotto, has a very well hidden Luigi concealed within the vines of the level's foreground, nearabouts where the first green star is located. From here on out, the worlds in the game feature remixed levels on previous worlds. A lot of the Luigi sprites are in the same places, so we won't be covering those as not to repeat ourselves. In World Mushroom 2, Spiky Mount Beanpole, we come to the game's last power-up, the Lucky Bell. It transforms Mario and company into a lucky cat, which has similar abilities to the statue leaf from Mario 3D Land, and the Tanuki suit from Mario Bros. 3. Performing a ground pound will cause the player to turn into a Maneki Nico statue, a figurine often believed to bring good luck. In terms of the other levels, there's only one more Luigi that we know about in the rest of the game that appears in the Flower World Stage 9, known as Towering Sunshine Seaside. By climbing one of the trees on the left of the level and messing with the camera, you should be able to see the tallest Goomba Tower, where, if you look very closely, the final stage Luigi is seen above this tower on the very top of the stage. Now we enter the game's final level, Champions Road. At the end of the level, the game spells out thank you using clear pipes, similar to how Super Mario 3D Land's final level spelled out thank you using panels. That's all for Super Mario 3D World. We'll come back to this series at some point or another and cover anything we've missed, but until then, we'd like to know what game you want featured in the next series of Easter egg hunting. Thanks very much for watching, and if you want to see more of what I do on my channel, well, I decided to take a look at the often forgotten Gex trilogy in a 3-video retrospective. I've just finished covering Gex 2, but I've also done Gex 1, and Gex 3 is on the way very shortly, so that's like 3 videos for the price of 1, and you're not even paying for them, so it's a triple bonus on a triple video offer. Can't go wrong.